Hello again, welcome back to the Telltale channel. Today's story is the classic tale Robinson Crusoe. Be sure to pay close attention to the story and watch it all the way to the end for the quiz and fun facts, and remember to help the channel grow by subscribing for free. When Robinson Crusoe was a boy, he wanted to go to sea. His parents would not let him go. "There are so many dangers at sea," they said. "Stay here with us, you will have more fun here." Many years went by. At last Robinson Crusoe was a man. Again he asked his parents to let him go to sea. Again his parents said, "No, you must stay here with us." By now Robinson Crusoe was tired of waiting. He ran away with a friend and went to sea on a big ship. Robinson Crusoe was happy at sea. He liked the work and he made some good friends on the ship. Then one afternoon there was a storm. Big waves crashed against the ship and Robinson Crusoe remembered all the dangers his parents had talked about. He was sorry he had run away from home. "After this, I will go home and stay there," he said to himself. "I will not go to sea again." Then there was a crash. A big wave came up and pulled Robinson Crusoe off the ship and into the water. It was a good thing he could swim. He could not see where he was going, but he swam on and on. At last he came to an island. Tired out, he walked up the beach to get away from the big waves. Then he pulled himself up into a tree and stayed there all night. When the sun came up the next day, Robinson Crusoe jumped down from the tree and went to look for the other men from the ship. He looked on the beach and in the trees, but he could not see anyone. He called out again and again, but no one was there. Robinson Crusoe looked out to sea and saw the ship that he had been on. He swam out to it to look for his friends. He called and called, but no one was there. Then he saw the ship's dog and two cats. He was pleased to have some friends at last. "You can come to my island with me," he said. As he looked around the ship, Robinson Crusoe saw many other things that he wanted to take to the island with him. He had to make a raft to hold everything. Then he called to the dog and the cat and off they all went to the island. It was hard work for Robinson Crusoe, but the dog and the cats liked it. Robinson Crusoe wanted to go out to the ship again the next day, but that night the storm came up again. There was a crash. Robinson Crusoe looked up and saw his ship go down into the water. He was sorry to see it go, but glad that he had taken so many of the things he wanted from it. Now that the ship was gone, Robinson Crusoe knew that he would have to stay on the island. "I must get to work and build a good house," he said to himself. "I will build it on top of the hill, so that I can look out to sea." Robinson Crusoe cut down some big trees to make his house. He worked hard for days and days, and at last it was ready. Robinson Crusoe was pleased with his house. "Now I can sit by my window and see when a ship comes," he said. "But how can I let the ship know that I am here? I will have to make a fire to signal to it." Robinson Crusoe went down to the beach to make his signal fire. His dog helped him. Now all he had to do was light the fire when he saw a ship. By now Robinson Crusoe had been on the island for days and days. "I must make a calendar to help me remember how long I have been here," he said. "I will get a big stick and put one cut on it each day. Then I can look at it and count how many days I have been here." Robinson Crusoe put his calendar on the beach. It looked funny, but it worked and he was pleased with it. One day Robinson Crusoe wanted to have a good look at his island. He went off with his dog running after him. He looked down the beach and saw some goats. Goats give milk, he said to himself, and milk is one of the things I want. I must get some goats and keep them by my house on the hill. But how can I catch them? It will be hard work. It was hard work. All that day, Robinson Crusoe and his dog ran up and down the beach after the goats. Robinson Crusoe was soon tired, but he would not give up. At last he had some goats to take home with him. There was one big goat and two little ones. He was pleased with his day's work. Now he would have all the milk he wanted. As the years went by, Robinson Crusoe's clothes became more and more ragged. He had to make himself some new clothes from goat skins. He also made an umbrella to keep the sun off him as he worked. He was pleased with his new clothes and his umbrella. Robinson Crusoe was working near his house one day, when he picked up a bag that he had taken from the ship. Some grains of wheat fell out of the bag. A few days later, Robinson Crusoe saw something growing. He remembered the bag and the wheat that had fallen out. "This must be wheat that is growing here," he said. "I will water it and take care of it. It would be good to have some wheat to make into bread." Robinson Crusoe made some pots to keep his wheat in. He was so pleased with them that he made some more to put his goat's milk in. But the milk ran out the bottom of the pots. Then Robinson Crusoe remembered the pots he had made at school when he was a boy. He remembered that they had to be fired to make them hard. He made a big fire and put some of his pots in it. He worked all day and all night to keep the fire going. The next day he pulled the pots out of the fire with a stick. He put some milk in the fired pots. The milk stayed in. Robinson Crusoe was very pleased with himself. One afternoon Robinson Crusoe was out watering his wheat. He looked up and saw a ship. He fired his gun and ran to light his signal fire. Then he waited on the beach for the ship to come and get him. But no one on the ship saw the signals. Robinson Crusoe called out and waved, but it was no use. The ship went by. By now Robinson Crusoe had been on the island for many years. He had goats and wheat and a good house, but he had no one to talk to. He wanted to get away from the island. "I must make a boat to take me away from here," he said. Robinson Crusoe looked for the biggest tree on the island. He cut it down to make it into a boat. It was hard work, but at last the boat was ready. Robinson Crusoe pulled and pulled, but the boat was too big and heavy. He could not get it down to the beach. One day, when Robinson Crusoe was walking on the beach, he saw a footprint. He knew it was not his footprint because it was too big. He looked around. "Who could have made this footprint?" he asked. "There must be someone else here on my island. I will have to look and see who it is." Robinson Crusoe looked up and down the beach to see who had made the footprint. Then he saw some men with little boats down by the water. One man was running away from the others. He ran to Robinson Crusoe, and the other men ran after him. "I must help that man," Robinson Crusoe said to himself. Robinson Crusoe said to the man, "Come with me, I will help you." Then he fired his gun, and the other men ran off. Robinson Crusoe was glad to have a friend again. "Today is Friday," he said, "so I will call you Friday. Come on, I will take you to see my house and my island. You can stay here with me for as long as you like." Friday went home with Robinson Crusoe. He liked the house and was happy to stay there. He helped Robinson Crusoe milk the goats, water the wheat, and make the bread. Robinson Crusoe was pleased to have a friend to talk to. He spoke to Friday in English, and soon Friday could speak English too. One day Friday was on the beach and Robinson Crusoe was working near the house. Friday came running up from the beach. "Robinson, Robinson," he called. "Come, come. Big, big boat." Robinson Crusoe looked out to sea. Yes, there was a ship coming. Robinson Crusoe ran down to the beach, calling and waving as he went. He lit a fire to signal the ship. The captain saw the signal and stopped the ship. He let a boat down into the water, and went to see what Robinson Crusoe wanted. The captain of the ship was English. He said he would take Robinson Crusoe and Friday home with him. They thanked the captain and went to get the things they wanted to take on the ship with them. Robinson Crusoe was pleased to be going home at last, but he was sorry to leave his house, his goats, his wheat, and the island that had been his home for so many years. The end. Fun fact. This story is thought to be based on the life of Alexander Selkirk, a Scottish castaway who lived for 4 years on a Pacific island called Massa Tierra. Were you paying close attention to the story? Try the fun quiz. What did Robinson Crusoe make to keep the sun off of him? The answer is an umbrella. What color was Robinson Crusoe's shirt? The answer is red. What did Robinson Crusoe make to hold his milk? The answer is a mud pot. Fun fact. The Chinese invented the first waterproof umbrella as protection from rain when they waxed and lacquered their paper parasols. Later, umbrellas became a feminine accessory beginning in the 16th century in Europe. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Remember to like and subscribe for free to the Telltale channel and click the notification bell for more stories, quizzes, and fun facts.